As far as the chaos we find ourselves in these days, it's difficult to say which side pulled the trigger first. Erusia deployed an automatic intercept system with drones. Osea implemented long-range attacks to bypass them. So Erusia decided to sabotage Osea's communications and navigation technology. Erusia couldn't launch a satellite themselves, but they were still able to hack the software of the Osean transmission and navigation systems. Before Osea even noticed, half of their satellites were hijacked. That's when things got ugly. In an attempt to knock out each other's capabilities, both forces launched fighters loaded with anti-satellite missiles at the same time. Only military satellites were targeted. However, their destruction created a debris field in orbit, which wiped out scores of other satellites, both private and government-owned. What kept the world relatively sane up to that point had been free-flowing data and information. But now, those were gone. All that remained was chaos and confusion. Government and civilian broadcasts and transmissions were cut off. The flow of information had ceased. Forces on both sides of the conflict now found themselves unable to communicate with their superiors. Many of the smaller countries annexed by Erusia and yearning for their independence seized the opportunity and started their own uprisings. As for why some of Osea's military decided to break off from the main force and continue on their own, I have no idea. Perhaps there was some sort of dispute over the chain of command. The continent that had once seen wars that were only fought between Osea and Erusia was now full of numerous conflicts between rival leaders vying for power. Insurgencies were everywhere. I even heard a rumor that a group of Osean convicts had rebelled. Rumors. It never ceased to amaze me that even at a crazy time like this, something as trivial as a rumor could find its way here. Communications from corporate were cut off. Apparently, the entire computer network was down. It was a wise decision to make our drones autonomous with AI instead of being radio-controlled. Wise and forward-thinking. Even with their GPS offline, they can still use their sensors to navigate as long as they're working properly. I'm sure the drones are still working perfectly, following their mission orders to the letter. I wish I could upload Mihai's new data to them. But without a connection, I can't upload the software to the active drones. The new ones we're making, though, there should still be enough time to upgrade those before they're activated. I'll be taking the data I've acquired away from the front lines now. Oh, and I'll be taking the girls, too. I told my assistant Masa it was time to get Mihai's granddaughters ready to leave here. She's not much older than the girls, but she has a way about her, and I'm sure she won't have any trouble with them. I saw a plane flying off in the distance. I imagine it was looking for a safer place. The plane had a rose emblem on it.
Erusia's communication networks have been down since their satellites were destroyed. Unfortunately, we are experiencing trouble too. All of Usia has been affected, and we don't know when things will be back up and running. We're not even sure if this is Erusia's doing. Still, we will follow the strategy that was originally planned and move on to the next operation after liberating Farbanti. Let's get to it. Since the war began, we've been receiving communications in secret from an officer in the Erusian army.
With the capital under our control, Erusia's radical element is losing support quickly, affecting the balance of power.
HQ is thinking of using the military officer as a way to gain leverage to settle peace negotiations. The officer is currently hiding in the outskirts of Anchorhead Bay, having joined up with support dispatched from the Osean army. The plan is that they'll take a standard vehicle to a rendezvous point at a harbor in the east part of the city, where a helicopter will be waiting.
I would like the new Strider Squadron to provide escort for the officer. Cyclops will remain at the base on standby to serve as defense.
With the communication network currently down in the capital, I very much doubt Arusea will be able to mount a regimented counterattack. However, it is likely that Arusea's intelligence department and the remaining forces who are aware of the officer's movements will interfere. Keep a close eye on the officer and make sure he stays safe. Our victory in Farbanti has given us a golden opportunity to finally end this war. Be safe out there.
Take note that our satellite-based IFF has become unreliable following the recent communications failure. As such, target ID will be done by processing the images from the infrared cameras on your aircraft. Objects will initially appear as unknown on your HUDs, but will be ID'd once you close in on them for a set period of time.
Strider Squadron, you're cleared to taxi.
To the unidentified Osean craft, this is Captain Carl of the Osean Army. Are you here for the escort? You're not the squadron I was expecting. Are you really friendlies? Over.
This is Longcaster. Airborne warning and control system for the Osean Long-Range Strategic Strike Group. Captain Carl, they're on our side.
And those two pilots we've heard about must be here too.
Okay, I hope you're right. Longcaster, are all of these really unknowns?
It's a state of civil war. The Erusian army is fighting itself. There's no guarantee the Oseans won't shoot us in this confusion.
We'll image process the unknowns caught in your cams to identify friend or foe. The process will be faster if you get a close-up, well-centered image.
Meanwhile, we just run if they shoot us, right?
Affirmative. Always identify your target before you fire. Trigger, that one's Osean. Do not attack before target identification is complete.
shock. The city under martial law. Gunfire and the roar of jets echoing through the streets.
Give me Strider Squadron's IDs. Oh, and hand me that sandwich.
Strider 3 launching missile.
You were the ones on the radio. We don't know our location. Give us orders.
We have no orders, but we do have ID data. Check your TAC terminal.
Roger that.
Entering the Anchorhead Bay area. Buildings will block your line of sight. Make sure to keep track of your objective.
How this war ends depends on this mission. I'm counting on you. Understood.
Strider 1, target destroyed. Strider Squadron, identify the unknowns along the route. ID is Ocean Forces. This is AWACS for the LRSSG.
Our info has been updated.
Get them before they get us!
ID is a Russian military.
Fighting with drones is what got us into this mess.
It's a Russian.
They aren't responding aggressively.
General, if they're conservatives, they'll listen to us. The negotiations were a success, Lancaster. They've opened up a path for us. The more the merrier.
Missile away.
Which faction is the head of our organization? We need to know at once. We can't see the tops of the roofs from down here. Be on the lookout for enemy ambushes. Strider 2, Fox 2. We made it through the Anchorhead Bay area. We're heading along Highway 208 under the bridge. We're taking the coastal highway at the next ramp.
All right.
The use of drones makes war more palatable. Why don't people realize this? There's a strict curfew, but people gather at bars and other places to learn what's going on. What's wrong with drones? Whether you're a patriot or not, you're just stubborn to change with the times.
Warning! Missile! Missile in the air!
There's an unknown on our route. We can't proceed. You guys have opened the trial to war, leading our country even further into ruin.
Missile. 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 Caution. Caution. Pull up.
Strider 1, enemy ship sunk.
Strider 2, evade that missile!
Missile.
Locked on, this one's a goner. Enemy has a lock.
Missile hit.
Missile.
Strider 1, missile inbound.
Missile.
Dodge.
Caution. Pull up. Missile. Missile.
locked on target.
Hostile has a lock.
Missile. Missile.
Wait. General managed to convince them.
Listen, those that protect General LaFarge are the real patriots. Onward!
Strider 1, missile away.
Confirming Strider 1 destroyed target.
There's a vehicle up ahead. Think it's gonna ask us to pay a toll? Get closer and find out if it's an enemy vehicle.
We'll go. Let's go.
We archived all the footage that we've shot, but when the communication networks come back online...
Strider 1. Strider 1, enemy behind you.
We need to remind everyone that there's no such thing as a clean war.
Signs of the clean warfare at the beginning of this war are now gone. Target hit.
It's no good. There's still a car on the road. Just to be safe, better avoid the highway and head for the warehouse district. Lancaster, we're taking a detour. Don't lose us.
Strider 1, General's route has changed. Keep your eyes on his vehicle. Don't let him out of your sight.
There's a vehicle blocking the road.
This guy up.
No response to hails. It's the radicals.
Here comes the traitor LaFarge.
This is a wide net they've cast. They really don't want the war to end, do they? LaFarge sent that vehicle!
Set up in all the right places.
Caution, enemy has a lock! We have some enemies coming up behind us. They're gaining on us. We changed our route, but the enemy's still on us.
Fox 2. Vehicle confirmed destroyed. Missile inbound, missile inbound.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 1, locked on target. Strider 1, tank destroyed.
My engine's been hit. Where did it come from? I'm surrounded by nothing but friendly. No, the attack was an unintentional mistake.
Turn right. No, wait, that goes into the ocean. I can't shake the enemies on my tail. Target destroyed.
Caution.
Maintain speed. We'll be able to break through that shutter. General, do you mind keeping it down for a minute? You'll bite your tongue. At least give us a side mirror. We're almost at landfill number 7. If we can make it through, we'll be in arm's reach of the rendezvous at Kruger Park. Captain Carl, do you have the means to record this conversation? I wish to explain to you the situation inside Erusia. I'm sure the boys listening upstairs will record it. The open declaration of war, expanding the front lines, was all the work of some young Erusian officers. They were referred to as the radicals, but there was an unseen force guiding them. It was technology they borrowed from the Belkans. When they actually went to war, the performance of the attack drones exceeded their wildest dreams. And they were incredibly clean, which got public opinion and the opportunists within the military on their side. They even manipulated the princess. American technology advanced UAV research within the Erusian Flight Test Center by at least 10 years. They used the flight data from a former ace pilot to create drone AI, but to us it's no different than magic or alchemy. Airplanes are meant to be flown by human beings. Those of you listening in, am I wrong? We're heading towards Gruner Park. Rendezvous point is the helipad on this man-made island. We'll ditch the car and take the helicopter from there.
Of a military group calling itself the Free Erusians. Strider 1, missile launched. An unknown is blocking our scheduled route.
No response. Got a bad feeling.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile.
Drone is acting suspiciously. Shoot it down. Those 3 strikes. I heard scratches on the tail mean that it's part of the penal
Pull
unit.
up. Missile.
All rebels must be taken down.
Somebody take out those allied planes behind us.
Missile. Missile.
It's 3 strikes. A member of the penal unit doing crying up planes.
Caution.
Open fire on that vehicle.
The VIP is taking fire. His vehicle stopped.
Missile. 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 Caution. Caution.
Fox 2.
Pull up.
Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
Missile. Missile.
Missile evaded.
We have no choice. Fire!
I need to get away. Striking!
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
We're taking fire. We can't hold off.
Last time we stay in there too long. Strider 1, enemy ship sunk.
Taking fire from a friendly crew.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Black Center. You radicals were so busy developing UAVs that you forgot to develop real pilots.
Missile.
What a disgrace.
Strider 1, missile launched.
How are we supposed to tell the difference? There are enemies everywhere.
I'll show you morons what it means to use your head to fight and not just instincts.
We're under attack. Hurry up and do something.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 3, launching missile.
The general is speaking with the commander.
Cease fire with the Ocean aircraft. General's orders.
Prepare to fire on a moment's notice. Try to help us before we get shot. It's not like this is a tank or anything.
Missile.
Captain Carl, we have a new rendezvous point. New coordinates are as follows. 263 Tango 4, 1999 Delta Lima. Rescue team says hostiles are making the area too dangerous.
Well, yeah, but they don't know where we're safe.
Our capital's fall has led to another power struggle amongst the jet military. This is being lashed on.
It's all gone to hell. Even radio chatters about the Civil War. Radio? You have one in your cockpit? Yeah, ever since my previous squadron. I've got it taped, nice and secure.
We're about to cross Anchor Bridge. There'll be nowhere to hide.
Something.
Fire from our own allies. Is this place under rebellion too? You heard the comm. There are no friendlies out there.
An armored vehicle's behind us. It's a vehicle used by the Erusian forces. Take it out!
Trigger, our VIP is in trouble. Clear the way for him.
Taking fire! Take care of them! They actually believe that using robots will put an end to bloodshed. Goddamn civil war. This is how a country falls into ruin after losing. The enemy shows no signs of letting up. This car's not gonna last. Take out Eddie in autonomous mode. I didn't think we were gonna make it, but you saved us. Thanks.
What are you thinking? Even in a time of war, it was a mistake to create something like a beam unit.
So,
We've almost reached the container area. Watch out for enemy ambushes.
Understood. System failures caused friendly fire incidents among Ocean forces. Even rumors of needle units turning on their former allies. Main conflict concluded. Regional forces in the center, south, and east struggle over stabilization of the nation.
General, we still have drones in our assault. It's too early for peace talks. Watch over the future and build from the high heavens.
Target destroyed. Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
Missile. 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 Caution. Pull up. Caution. Caution. Missile.
We're coming up on a tunnel. We'll need to split up until we reach the exit. There's more to Belkin technology than just vehicles. IFF designations for one was an astonishing feat. We used it to make drones that resembled Ocean fighters. And then to assassinate Harling and put the blame on enemy fighters. But in the end, Belkin technology only brought chaos to the world.
I can't believe Lucy is responsible for Harling's assassination.
You talking politics? That's cool.
Can't ignore a story like that, right, Trigger?
Target hit.
Not bad at all, Trigger. Bad news. Hostile armored forces outside should go say hi before they ruin the General's day.
Bandit acquired. Initiating attack.
Missile.
The General's a real celebrity. Seems everyone wants to meet him.
ID'd as Ocean military.
Missile.
How'd you last long, Chapter? We've been briefed and we're here to help.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Missile. Caution. Pull up.
Fox 2.
Damn it! We're outnumbered. There were too many conservatives in the Air Force that hated the truth.
Missile.
We're taking heavy fire. Concentrate your fire on the combat vehicle.
Target acquired.
Target destroyed by Strider 1.
Missile.
We were nearly done for. I couldn't have asked for better timing. We've reached the industrial zone. This should be the new rendezvous point. The coordinates are up ahead. Take out any enemies in the surrounding area.
Echo.
Missile. Missile.
Officers from countries annexed by Aruja have taken multiple groups and declared independence.
Missile.
Glad we waited. Don't worry, we won't let anybody through after you.
Almost at the rendezvous. Move the rear to the others. Understood.
Roger. Ceasefire for the
The radicals truly believe boosting drone productions will make up for our losses. They should be taking responsibility for the capital's fall, but instead they're prolonging the war. That is why proper conservatives like myself are moving to regain control. If all goes well, we should be able to sign a truce with Osea quickly.
this darkest hour, we need a beacon of light to show us the way. This is the Arusian News Network.
Okay, let's go. We're getting out of here. We've had just about enough of this place. I'd like to offer my thanks to the LRSSG. This should finally bring about a true end to the war.
Understood. Good luck. Multiple unidentified aircraft approaching.
This plane is carrying civilians. We have escort fighters, but we do not intend to engage in combat. Please stand down.
What's going on?
Try to get a little closer. Weapon use is prohibited.
What's going on? Dr. Schroeder!
Whoa. There's a girl on board?
He's not lying about carrying civilians.
No. Unless she's a soldier.
Weapon use is prohibited. We've checked footage. It does seem to be a transport with escorts.
Trigger, what the hell are you doing?
This plane is carrying civilians. We have escort fighters, but we do not intend to engage in combat. Please stand down.
What's going on?
Try to get a little closer. Weapon use is prohibited.
What's going on? Dr. Schroeder!
Whoa. There's a girl on board?
He's not lying about carrying civilians.
No. Unless she's a soldier.
Weapon use is prohibited. We've checked footage. It does seem to be a transport with escorts.
I repeat, this craft is carrying civilians. We are not here to fight.
Dr. Schroeder, tell me what's happening.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, but do not attack the civilian liaison.
That's the aircraft your grandfather told me about. The one with the scratches.
There it is. The EASA liaison plane. They engage in witchcraft with Belkin technology. They're responsible for leading the military down the wrong path.
Wait. Unknown's attacking the girl's plane.
Hold on tight.
Lancaster, permission to engage.
Negative.
What?
It could be Osean fighters. ID them ASAP.
Shit.
That's all we can do.
ID complete. They're Arusian fighters. What the hell is going on?
Stay sharp.
Uh-huh.
Right. I'm shooting him down. Any complaints?
Granted.
Wilco.
Wilco.
Yeah, good work. Strider 1 has killed a bandit.
Careful, those guys are good. Wait, you don't think it's those Osean big shots, do you? I managed to catch a glimpse of the three strikes.
Don't miss.
I'm hit.
Aim carefully.
9. No good. Oh, shit.
They're down. Failing.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Bandit destroyed. Well done.
They're in my way.
Breaking.
Missile evaded.
Nice kill.
Good work. All hostile aircraft eliminated. The liaison is safe. Wait.
The escort fighter is... The drive. They're missing the drive.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding me. Liaison escort has a radar lock. They're targeting you guys.
What the hell? We were just helping that.
Arusian aircraft, this is AWACS Lancaster. Do not engage the liaison. Break off now.
Can you hear me on this channel, Osean craft? Those escort aircraft are drones. They are currently being operated autonomously.
that case, we have no choice but to shoot the aircraft down.
Unfortunately, yes.
Missile.
We did what we could.
Missile.
Weapons free. We're cleared to attack the escort.
Wilco. Understood.
Missile.
Wilco.
Missile. Missile.
Can't abort the MQ-99's launch. Our commands are overridden.
I'm on my target's
You
tail.
must be accessing it remotely. Which unit is behind this?
Hey, it's not our fault they won't listen to reason. Why build something like that? Whoever did is the king of all dumbasses.
Lost on.
To build something else entirely.
Additional hostiles inbound. Great timing.
Warning, enemy has beat
Son
on
of
you.
a bitch.
Missile.
Castor must have used its remote activation rights to gain more allies.
Missile.
Clever.
Missile evaded.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 2, Fox 2.
Strata 1, target acquired. Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Locked on bandit.
Missile.
I'm on my target's tail.
Missile. Caution. Pull up.
Fox 2. 5 bandits remaining.
Missile.
Damn it. They don't have the drive they need. The counter screen is fully functional. You're incredible. It's not enough to be fully functional. There has to be a time when it should not function. But when?
I've got a sitting duck here.
They have to obtain opportunities.
Strata 1, target acquired.
Missile.
4 bandits left.
Missile.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Behind the enemy.
Three bandits to go. Two bandits left. Show them what you got. Fox 2.
Missile.
1 bandit to go.
Stall warning.
Strider 1, that's what I like to see. Another story to tell my boy.
Understood. All hostiles have been eliminated. Nice. The General's helicopter is flying safely outside Anchorhead Bay. All aircraft, RTB, mission complete.
All hostiles, huh?
General, the Ocean aircraft is here to pick us up. The approaching Ocean aircraft.
Losing his army? Elaborate. They stole our sealed orders.
The VIP.
It should be a piece of cake.
Were you sent by the General's staff? No, we'd like you to send... Listen! I can't!
There are 3 scratches.
What does that mean?
The tail of that plane.
Lancaster, are all of these really unknowns?
In order to respond to the attack on the base, Cyclops has scrambled after being on standby. We'll head up too, once our planes are ready. Oh, and Labarth is dead.
What did you say?
Apparently, he was shot down by another Ocean aircraft after he left the area of operations. I mean, I know it was chaos, but still. At any rate, the sealed order operation has come to a close. We have no idea about a plan for going forward.
All we can do for now is watch our own backs.
What's up with the commander?
He's staying in his room. He's still alive, since we can hear him crying.
The island we went to was supposed to have been secured by the ground forces. They hadn't gotten a handle on things by the time we got there, so now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign. My job was to get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Ocean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape. They stole some jets and now they were flying around, taking out their former allies left and right. I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around. Hearing the Ocean jets firing at each other overhead chipped away at morale. Since the radio was out, it was quiet. I liked it better that way. All I heard was the gunfire. Here we were, walking around carrying rifles. We were pilots, damn it. Friendly fire will probably kill us. You know things are desperate when the guards that used to lock us into solitary are now telling us it's better we all stick together. I guess they think our odds of surviving this war are better that way. After walking for miles across the battlefield, we came across the wreckage of a plane. Passenger, not military. I knew that rose. It was an Erusian liaison plane. The guard's dogs smelled something and took off. They led us to a cliff. And the bodies.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after him and shot him to pieces. He was my best friend. After all those speeches I gave about working together for peace, I thought everyone felt the same as I did. I'm sure the soldier who shot at me knew I was the Princess of Erusia. He was Erusian too. More soldiers have come. Now, there is no one left to protect me. I am so numb, I cannot move. I watch as one of their dogs approaches. It sniffs mournfully at my dead friend. I wonder if it grieves for him as much as I do. I can barely think. I feel weaker by the minute. I don't know who these soldiers are with, but I managed to take a sip of the water they gave me.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess? After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio. It still works!
I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
"You see, Just what did you see here?
Okay, enough talk. Your opinions have all been taken into consideration. Beyond the seizure of Forbanti, which is important, and supporting the Erusian officer. At this point, I just don't know what our strategy is, or what our mission will be. Radio communication is still patchy for both the military and civilians, so we're getting zip from Mission Command about our orders. Still, with countless Erusian forces in the area, it's too dangerous for us to stay around here waiting for a miracle. Now, regarding Count's suggestion to think about self-defense, I think we should make a break for Tyler Island. It was a large Osean base before the start of the war. Count says his previous squadron took part in an operation to seize control of the island. It has the only base that will get us to the space elevator without refueling. It's also a transport facility for supply ships that provide drones and ammo for arsenal birds. For the Osean forces that are looking to reclaim the space elevator, those are two great reasons in its favor. If everything went according to plan, the base may already be in Allied hands when we get there. Though based on what Count told me about the island operation, it won't be easy to seize control.
If the ground troops have managed to open the bridgehead, the transport route to Osea for supply ships should be available.
So much at stake, I can't imagine Erusia just giving it up without a fight. Things could really have gone bad.
Even if there are enemies left, they should be pretty easy to suppress.
I just want to go home, man.
Me too.
With that look on your face, Trigger, I know exactly what you want to do.
If Trigger's ready to kick ass, then so am I.
Damn straight. We're with you, Trigger.
It's decided then. Let's get all the aircraft and haul ass to Tyler Island. Although we can avoid the Arsenal Bird's anti-air network, there's still remnants from the Erusian forces. I want to get to the island without getting into any unnecessary combat. Pick a fast craft and fix it how you want. Pack for a long trip, but remember, if you drag your ass, you'll get left behind.
Strider Squadron, sortie ASAP.
This is Tango 2-3, pursued by multiple tanks and APCs. They'll all go down if we don't pull back the landing craft. It's what? Abandoned Tango 2-3?
Something's not right.
Tango 2-3, we don't have the firepower to assist you. You're on your own. Please, we need help!
Wagtail is on the Osean landing ship. What's going on? What did you say?
Multiple bogies inbound. Damn it. Prepare for anti-air combat.
This is the AWACS Longcaster. The aircrafts in your area belong to the LRSSG.
Allied aircraft. A retreating vehicle is taking fire. Requesting assistance.
Roger. ID complete.
Target destroyed by Strider 1.
Update us on Tyler Island.
Couldn't be worse. Our forces are scattered and on the run.
They're on the run?
We were waiting for retreating units here to carry them out to safety. Do me a favor, Longcaster. Many of our allies are cut off. We need support and an escape route.
Understood. We'll do what we can. Let's help retreating Osean forces. Take out any hostiles in their area. Don't engage till targets are ID'd.
The boots on the ground don't need more people shooting at them.
Thanks. It's absolute chaos out there. The Erusians are even starting to fight amongst themselves.
Well, now we know what's going on, but shit.
Calling friendly birds! Take out the hostiles in our area! We get us out of this hellhole! We need help while we're still up and running! There's more over here. Bodies of dead civilians. I don't think they were part of the fight. Yeah, we're all lined up. No, they are not combatants. Some of them are even wearing shoes. I can guess what happened here. I really don't want to think about it. I just got the photograph. Head back to 18. Another 30 minutes. The devastating water was used to the children in the proper burial. Damn those Russian bastards. It's a blatant war crime. Take photos for evidence.
Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
They're Erusian. Jesus, they're firing at each other. Is this the norm around here? It's all crazy people.
We are in the middle of a mission to take back the mass driver. The supply ship at the munitions depot is highly combustible.
Get out of here, hurry. You let them through.
Don't pursue too deep. We just need to buy some time. Listen to Bay until operation feeding time.
If you see 3 strikes, count to 3, and the enemy's gone.
Our last vehicle has been destroyed. Let's get out of here.
Let's get moving! Hit the gas and don't let up until we reach the extraction point! I don't want to see anyone, hostile or friendly!
Move them away from the mass driver.
Locked on.
You hear us? We're taking fire from multiple enemy tanks! I count 12 dead bodies here. The shooting is upper middle class. Trace points nearby, so they could be researchers and their families. Most likely, they were involved with Belka.
ID complete.
Gather all the wounded together.
Strider 1, we've identified the unknown targets.
Our guys even took out the enemy air support. What do we do now? Send him a tank!
Allied retreat looks good.
The Erusian ground forces show no sign of letting go. With us! The enemy ATC from there!
Try to save your ammo. Lure them in and then fire at once.
Let me slide in on that tail.
Warning, enemy has a bead on you.
Back out 13. Tanks left, but they're running on fuels and low on ammo. We're outnumbered, taking heavy losses. We can't even run. The enemy will shoot us in the back.
All aircraft, search every nook of the island. We're not leaving anyone behind.
Get in the landing craft. Many thanks, Forecaster. We didn't have to leave our boys to die.
Understood.
This whole operation is crazy. Stop whining.
ID complete.
An explosion inside! Target eliminated. Continue the countdown. The enemy's not stupid. We're after the supply ship. Do the countdown! There's still one arsenal left. If we can fill it full of bombs, then Erusia will have a fighting chance. We can't distract the supply ships. Don't fight with your backs to the supply ship. If it's hit, we're done for.
Locked on.
Push it back! Fire! Fire at will! We need more ammo!
Shit, it's 3 strikes. We're sending ducks out here. Our only allies there will cover the forces. Don't mistake them for rebels.
Missile away. Target destroyed.
Should be enemy position! Speak up! Your artillery fire sent a number on my hearing!
Wait, multiple bogeys from the east.
They're timing tells me they're not here to bring good news.
We need to ID the bogies. Take them down if they're hostile.
Missile.
Understood.
Missile. Missile.
Bogies inbound. Escort fighters, we're counting on you.
Missile.
Should we fire? Even if we're not fired upon? Of course. Chase off the bogies! There's no way they're ours! Almost there. Commence operation no return!
Missile.
These are unguided. Stay on course!
Missile.
Strider Squadron, you're near an armada of bogies. Identify them.
Identification complete. It's Erusian bombers and their escorts.
Count's prophecy has come true. Take out all bombers. They'll flatten our allies.
Plenty of civilian casualties as well. Precision bombing is impossible in these conditions. Maybe they know they can't. We're gonna drop them all.
Watch yourselves. These guys are working together to bring us down.
Missile.
Trigger, boss! Get over here quick!
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Ram 7, locked on target. They've taken out many of our aircraft. Use extreme caution.
Enemy on your back!
Don't aim. We're doing strategic bombing.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Strider 2, check your six.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Locked on.
Launch control, this is Strider. Air systems ready. We are a go for launch.
Missile.
Launch control. The enemy is closing. Confirm launch readiness. Affirmative.
Missile.
This is our last chance for Operation
Missile.
Feeding Time.
Missile.
Launch control. Roger that.
The bombers are nearing the island. We're running out of time. Only half the bombers remain. We can't let even one get away.
On my target's tail.
Target hit.
Missile.
Strider 3, launching missile.
Missile. Missile. Missile. Missile. Missile. Missile. Missile.
More bombers approaching. Intercept them now.
Scratches. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Ram 2, on my target's tail.
Locked on.
Intercept those bombers.
Missile.
No use. The enemy pilots are classified.
All enemy bombers have been destroyed.
We did it!
Continue with your mission.
Really from Ostia?
We don't need to defeat them. Just delay their advance. Got it?
Half our vehicles. This isn't looking good. We need help. Bring all the injured.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Did it. We're moving out. Leave the dead behind. We'll come back to this island one day and send them off properly.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Missile.
Strider 1, we've identified the unknown targets.
Missile.
It's the Osean military.
Don't they know they're on the same side?
Missile.
Firing at each other!
This is AWACS Lancaster. We're uploading the latest ID data. Check your TAC terminal.
Hold your fire! I confirm. The info is from Allied AWAC. Hold your fire! Roger. But where are we supposed to leave? Who should we follow?
Missile.
You guys got out alive. You have time to figure it out.
Thanks. But will we make it in time?
The landing ship is waiting for you.
Right. We leave when wounded. This will guarantee us a one-way ticket to hell. Very sure we're there already.
Hey you, dumbass with the scratches on his tail. You hear me? I need you to help some people. There's a group of refugees surrounded by Erusian tanks right here. Needless to say, their future's not looking too bright.
This is a secure military line. Who is this?
Me. You can call me the Scrap Queen.
Lancaster, she's an ally. Trigger and I'd know that voice anywhere.
So you're still breathing, Sir Count.
Here, let me have a word. Hey, it's been a while. I had a feeling the two of you were still alive. Remember, stick with Trigger and you'll make it.
I have a bit of intel for you. I'll share it if you can help these refugees.
Count me in.
That's right.
Missile.
Echo 13, all hostiles are down.
Understood. This is our last chance. We'll see how far we can go.
Pick up the speed with your search. The faster you find them, the more people we can save. We've destroyed all of the targets. All bogies should be ID'd now. Mission complete. Okay, Scrap Queen. Send us the target coordinates.
I'm thinking about how I do that.
Don't you have a laser target indicator?
Why would she?
Look, Kinster. It's taking us to the enemy's doorstep, not me. Wait, you moron! Wait! What are you doing, dumbass? Here! Attack right here!
Lancaster, we've confirmed the location of the flare.
That's them. All aircraft, we just updated your threat matrix via data link. Take out those targets.
Don't miss. We don't want to hit the pretty ladies down there.
Missile.
Hurry!
Missile. Missile.
Strata 1, target acquired.
Trigger has destroyed the target.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Good job! The enemy tanks are toast. I don't think I could even blame you for that scrap.
Why do they sing that song? Because everyone knows it. No other reason.
Strata 1, missile launched.
Missile. Missile. Caution.
That takes care of them. No civilian casualties. Nice going. Do you hear the singing?
Beginning terminal countdown. Pressure stable. It's on.
Lancaster, a promise is a promise. Here's the intel. I heard it from an Erusian soldier that defected. The supply ships will be launched soon.
Yeah, that is valuable information.
That doesn't sound good.
But can it be trusted?
Not sure. Heard it from a man who said he wanted to atone for his sins. Up to you to trust him or not.
Missile.
Understood. Good luck.
Releasing safety. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. 1, 2, 3. The mass driver is accelerating.
The supply ships have been launched from the mass driver. If the supply ships make it to the Arsenal bird, they'll be able to resupply it. They may be loaded with new weaponry that we don't even know about. We have no choice but to take down the supply ships before they can get within the Arsenal bird's air defense network. You've got to hurry or you're not going to make it. 3 minutes to the enemy's air defense network.
I can't get a lock.
Missile.
All aircraft, remain on high alert. We got bandits incoming on radar.
Missile.
You're gonna have to forget about them for now. Focus on destroying that supply ship first.
We're sitting ducks like this.
Even my cannon let the supply ship get too far away, we'll never be able to catch it. They're faster than I expected. Just avoid the enemy's fire for now.
Okay, but we won't be able to do that forever, you know.
The supply ship's in the clouds. We can't find it. If we're too close, we'll get caught up in the explosion.
Did you see that explosion? Looks like that's one of them down.
Remember, there are 2 supply ships out there. Hurry up and shoot the other one down. We've recalculated the remaining time. Trigger, you're gonna lose it. Fly at full speed. 90 30 seconds to the enemy's air defense network.
Don't lose them.
Don't overshoot.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
60 seconds remain.
Missile.
Target locked. They're trying to feed that giant monster of a bird. We can't let them complete their mission.
Hope you're all enjoying the pretty fireworks. If this thing had any windows, we could have seen it for ourselves. Nice work, team.
We're gonna find ourselves a boat and leave this island. We'll be taking the refugees, along with any deserters from the Erusian military.
Who's the girl that ran at the tanks with the smoke canister? A few more crazies like her, and life down there may have been a tad bit easier.
What do you think would have happened to those refugees if you hadn't intervened? The princess saw what happened. They were little kids.
That's why I like the sky. You don't have to see those types of things.
Does this mean we're that much closer to ending the war?
No, we just basically prevented it from going on forever.
Count's right. We have no choice but to return to our original base. Our base that is nearly out of food and fuel. We need to do something.
This is Tango 2-3. Pursued by multiple tanks and APCs.
Good. Take a seat. Everyone's here. All right. Good work in sinking the supply ships. Not to mention saving the refugees. However, we're in no position to start celebrating. Even the commander here is starting to fray from the stress.
Can't say I blame him.
Now, Tyler Island is in a state of complete anarchy. This base isn't safe either. The faces you see around you are the only friends we've got. Take a good look.